Welcome to Valley Viewpoint. I'm Roger Johnson. My guests are Hannah and Don Schafer. Hannah has recently been a music festival winner, and she's here in the studio with her violin. And Don is dad, and he has certainly supported his daughter along with mother, who's not in the shot, but we will talk about what it's like to be a good violinist. Hannah, what is it like to be a good violin player?
It's fun.
It's fun. I'm glad to hear that.
I guess I wouldn't, it takes a lot of work to, you have to practice, and if you don't really like it, then there's not much use doing it because it takes work. So I guess you have to enjoy it, and I do, so I always enjoy practicing and violin lessons and orchestra and stuff.
Do you sense, you've heard about joggers, how they have to get past a certain point and then the endorphins kick in? Have you heard about that?
A little bit.
A little bit. And then it becomes into the self-induced drug enjoyment. Did you ever have to get past a barrier to where practicing became fun and maybe your own brain was giving you feedback, the dopamine feedback that music is supposed to give us? According to what I read in the Reader's Digest, we get a lot of benefits from music. So did you ever have to kind of hit the wall for a while and then get over that?
Well, I guess I don't feel like I get all these dopamine or whatever that the runners get, but I think when I started taking from Julia Gish Salerno, my teacher, I really like her, and that's helped. I always like practicing now.
How did you find her?
I did the Walla Walla Suzuki Institute, and she was my master class teacher. So I had a 20-minute lesson with her every day for a week, and I liked her, and my mom really liked her. So she talked to her, and she asked if I could take from her. And she didn't have any room in her studio that year, but then the next year I could take from her, and it's been great. I like her so much.
Has this been a relationship that has quite a few years behind it?
Yeah, I started taking from her, I think, when I was 12, so yeah.
And you are now?
I'm 16.
16, so 4 years of lessons. Now, I would like to have you talk about what it's like to take from her. Describe what it's like in these modern times about taking from a teacher.
So, she lives in Spokane, so we don't get together, have an in-person lesson. We usually do Skype lessons, and then sometimes we go to Spokane for a lesson if it's been a while, or she'll come here to Walla Walla, so we'll just do that and see what works best.
That certainly helps, since Julia, I knew her as Julia Gish, grew up here. So she's coming back here occasionally
to see her
home,
parents. And
to see mom and dad here. That worked out well. Don, what is your perspective as a parent, and perhaps encouraging those other parents out there that are shelling out lots of money for lessons, and what's it like?
It's a joy to see your children involved in something that's wholesome and good, and it hopefully is something that brings joy to others, and I think I see that, and you want your children to be involved in things that make others happy and bring them a blessing. So I don't think I have a lot of doubts about it at all. I know that it does take time and money. I know that my wife has been very involved in all three of our children's practice time and spends many hours with them, not with Hannah now because Hannah is independent, but she did in the past, helping her practice. And I've done less of that, but it is fun when I get a chance to play with my children, and Hannah and I enjoy playing. I play the piano and she'll play the violin, and it's always really special for me to do that.
And it goes back a generation or two, doesn't it?
Yes, my mother was a piano teacher and majored in music in college, and of course my father has supported us in all our musical interests, and they also have enjoyed seeing the kids and develop with their musical interests. And then Hannah's aunt, my sister, also does play a lot, and so when they get together, that's gratifying for all of us. And,
yeah, it's fun.
And so.
And your mother graduated as a music major, am I correct?
No, she was an education major, but she did get a music minor with organ performance.
Way back in younger times, I believe I attended that recital.
Oh, really?
At the University Church Organ.
Yes.
Yeah, when Sharon was getting her degrees.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Hannah, I would like to have you describe, if you would, and explain what was this Spokane festival, this music festival like. You recently came away with a surprise. Why don't you announce what the surprise was?
Well, I did this young artist competition in Spokane at their music fest, and so I guess the surprise was that I won, because I totally wasn't expecting to win, and I just thought I'd do it because like it was the Mendelssohn First Movement, and I loved the piece, so I thought that'd be fun to play, and then just for the experience. So I just thought I'd do it, and then I won, and that was really exciting because I got to play with the Spokane Symphony, so I got to solo with them like a few days later after the competition.
And somehow I get the idea that some of these festivals are encouraged by the local orchestra. They would like to see what talent is coming about. They like to have an incentive. You can play with as you say, you were able to. You had the privilege of playing with the Spokane Symphony due to this award that you recently obtained. And that is quite an honor, and it's, pardon me, Dawn, it's better than playing with the piano.
Much, much better.
Piano parts trying to simulate an orchestra.
It's not quite the the fullness of everyone, like when it was in the Spokane Symphony. Like when I wasn't playing and the orchestra had their tooties, they just sounded amazing. It was,
and
just standing there right in front.
That's when you were
when I
you
wasn't
rest,
playing.
when
Yes.
you're not playing, and that's when the orchestra takes up the themes that you have been involved with.
Yes.
But they allow the soloist to rest, and then you have the opportunity to hear this incredible.
I think standing right there, you get a really nice way to hear it too, and like instead of being in it, you just hear the individual things. But when you're standing there, you get the full everything, and so it was really nice to just stand there and listen to them, and then of course to play.
You also had the opportunity to play with another orchestra as well. Was that again a case where an orchestra said, we would like to have some young artists to play with our orchestra? So explain how that worked.
So I had to send in a video of myself playing, or a couple of videos actually, and like write up some stuff and send it to them, and then they chose me and a couple other pianists to play at their concert like a week ago. And then they did some other pieces, and then my piece and the other pianists' concertos, so that was really fun too.
You didn't say where that was.
Oh, in La Grande, Oregon.
So you played the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto in Spokane, and then also were able to play it again in La Grande.
That was fun.
And you'd be willing to play it in other places.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Your first time playing it was in Hermiston?
Yes, it was in Hermiston
with their orchestra.
Their orchestra there, the Inland Northwest Orchestra.
Oh. And you're learning the full concerto?
Yeah, I'm working on the third movement right now, and I've been doing the second some too.
Well, you are prepared. You are prepared to play some of the parts of this concerto for our audience.
Oh yes.
We're so pleased to have you here with the violin, and we'll go ahead and do that, if that'd be all right.
Should I?
Okay, we'll be right back with Hannah playing some of the excerpts of this concerto that she was able to play with symphony orchestras. We're We're back with Hannah Schafer, and she's going to be playing excerpts from the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto. Hannah? Hannah, that was very, very beautiful for violin lovers out there, and for Dawn and I. We just love being your audience today.
Well, thank you
It
for
was
listening.
so beautiful, and I don't believe I've had the opportunity to hear. You said you were working on the second movement and the third. I mean, and I don't believe I've ever had the opportunity to hear you perform, even with a piano, the second movement yet. And that was such a beautiful, beautiful
Well, thank you.
middle movement, and looking forward to hearing more of that sometime. And the third movement is in progress.
Yeah, I've been working on it slowly and in tune, and I'll work it up to speed later on.
And so the last time I had a violinist here, did we talk about Tim Fain? I don't believe we got around to the last time I heard a violinist in the Valley play the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto was with the Walla Walla Symphony.
Yes, I was there too.
And you heard him play.
Was sitting in the front row. I wanted to watch him.
And now you're working on that same material. And you're also actively in the Walla Walla Symphony.
Yes, that's
And I'm
really
sure
fun.
they greatly appreciate your skills and all the investment and your ability to play in that symphony orchestra right here in our local area.
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. It's fun playing all the big pieces that they do, being able to play with them and the sound that we all create together.
And I was thinking, and maybe Dawn, did you hear that Hannah was given a test for this Spokane Music Festival that she had to sight read? Explain what sight read is.
So sight reading is when you get some music and you've never played it before. It's basically the first time you play some music for the.
So it's a surprise.
Yes.
Everybody gets a surprise that's in this contest.
So at the competition, they had all of us, like all the musicians, go out of the room, and then they had everyone go in one by one, and they had this big fat book of orchestra excerpts, and the judge was like, okay, here you go, here's the I want you to play from here to here in this random thing. And he gave us 2 minutes to look at it, and then we had to play it. So I had never done anything like that before, and it was hard because I didn't know how to prepare, because you can't practice it because you don't know what you're going to play. And so, but it was good. And
Do you believe that all the Walla Walla Symphony rehearsal time and being presented music for the first time, every time you do a concert, there's probably, at your age, probably the first time you've played some of this music, I would
definitely,
think.
yeah.
Do you
That
think
definitely helped, like just sight reading in orchestra and stuff. But then it's totally different when you're by yourself, and there were lots of very high notes, and
Ooh.
so I was way up here trying to figure out what
Find
they were.
them,
Yeah.
huh?
But it wasn't that long. It was only like 3 lines or so. But yeah, it was.
But it was long enough to convince the judges that you probably had quite a high score in that part of the test. So for the music festival, for you to have won this age group, I think was it 16 to 27, did I hear?
Something like that.
You had to do the sight reading test. Surprise experience, way up on the strings, and then what else did you
I
need
had to
do?
play a contrasting piece, so everybody could choose what piece they were going to play. So I played the second movement of the Bruch Violin Concerto, and then so that was first, and then we had the sight reading, and then after that we did the concerto. So it's for all strings, and so there was another cellist, and then the rest of us were violinists. And there was a bass player that was supposed to show up, but he didn't. So it's kind of for everyone. But so we had all the other violinists were playing Mendelssohn. And so.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So
you had to play it, yeah.
Oh, that was the assigned piece.
Yes.
How long did you know beforehand that this was the assigned piece?
I think a year before.
Oh.
So like because I played at Music Fest in Spokane the year before that, and I remember people were saying, "Oh, Mendelssohn First Movement's going to be the next young artist thing."
And you had worked with your teacher on that concerto for, I believe we mentioned the Hermiston Orchestra.
Oh yeah, what's the Inland Northwest?
Inland,
yes.
yeah, that's good to clarify. And so you had this work in progress already.
So it helped because I already had learned it, and then to come back to it after working on other stuff, just to make it more
I think it can
mature
solidify
and,
it in your long-term
And some
memory
stuff-
and in your maturity and in your musicianship.
and some stuff that I had found really hard before, I wasn't as hard this time because I don't know, it just keeps solidifying.
Dawn, what is it like to be hearing your daughter play? Is it? Are you past the nerves, or how do you and your wife cope with these orchestras wanting to have your daughter play music with them? And
Well, I think as parents we naturally get a little bit nervous when she plays, but I know that each time is different, and sometimes I'm totally relaxed and other times I feel nervous, so I can't predict. But Hannah usually puts us at ease really quickly because she shows that she's calm and she feels like she's, I think, in control and enjoying the experience. So,
well, we have certainly enjoyed the experience of having both of you on the set today.
Thank
you
you
for
so
the
much.
beautiful music, Hannah. Just
Thank you.
gorgeous performance for us today. And Dawn, thank you for all that you've invested so that music can continue to do incredibly good things for the world. Thank you for joining us on Valley Point. I'm Roger Johnson.